Red man, you like people, doing all types of rapping. Goes on the ground, just like you are rapping. Guys say never heard about that. White kryptonite, 400 years of slavery. The red, the... Welcome back. I know it's been a really long time. Been so busy, but it's all been good stuff, and that just gives me more to talk about when we get together. These are all the things I have to talk about in this vlog. Some of the things I've been working on. This doghouse, one of 4 videos I will be doing for Lowe's, and this has came out really cool. This is a doghouse based on the big new workshop that has since been painted black. Talk about that in a few minutes. I'm really happy with the way it came out. Bear loves it. Whenever he's near it, he goes inside and goes to sleep. Right now, it is in the big barn, where I think it's going to stay, because it's a little big for the house. When the summer comes back around, maybe we'll leave it outside. Thank you, Lowe's. Still doing my product development on the DiResta knife. These are the first 5 that I actually had laser cut a few months ago, and hardening, sharpening, surface grinding. These are all the steps going into making this knife. It doesn't really seem like a lot. It is fairly simple compared to some knives that are out there, but I'm kind of gearing this towards a small production run, so that's why I wanted to try to make it as simple as possible. But when you make knives, it doesn't seem to be very much that is simple unless you hire a factory, which is not out of the question. But I'm learning. And then right into the razor blades, the same thing. It's hardening, sharpening, surface grinding. In this case, I had 75 made, and I am working on the bevel. I have them right here. Working up that bevel, it's a lot harder than it looks. It looks simple, but it is a major PIA. Thank you to John Saunders, who helped develop this fusion file for me to cut it. It was really about the feeds and speeds and what would be the best path to choose. There's a lot to choose from when you're in the Fusion Cam system, and I still need a lot of practice with that. So John, thank you very much. John got me set up with the right bit, the right feeds and speeds, and I'm in slight production. I need a better jig, and Kevin Lazat's going to help me with that. And as soon as I get that jig, I'm going to rock and roll. Another crazy thing I did since I last saw you guys is I made a bunch of chocolate molds. CNC led to the vacuum form, which led to me pouring some chocolate. I don't know much about tempering chocolate or even doing anything about how to melt it, but I made some candy bars and it was just for fun. I hope you enjoyed that. It's out now. If you didn't see it, go check it out. The blacksmith class just passed, and I'll talk more about that toward the end. Get ready for the blacksmith class. I had to move this power hammer into position, and David from PC Workshop helped me do that. David, thank you very much. He stopped by to say hello and to see how the painting was going, because his crew painted, and he got roped in helping me get my car stuck out of the mud and getting this power hammer in place. That was last Sunday, and nobody got hurt, and that's always a good thing, and we got everything in position and we got it working. So David, thank you. You can hear the crazy story about that if you listen to my podcast from about 2 weeks ago. I'll link the podcast below. And in new tools, I picked up a hydraulic press from the guys at Coal Iron Forge. This is a 25-ton press for forging. It is so much fun. I haven't moved it over here yet because the ground is still very muddy. It's not in proximity to the forges yet, just so I could do some more experimenting. I'm waiting till the ground firms up and I could drive my trailer and truck over here and put it into the blacksmith shop. But the guys at Coal Iron Forge gave me a very good deal on this. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You got to check these guys out, making a very cool product, affordable, made in America. Thank you, guys. The Canoe is moving along. It is going to be done probably by the next vlog. I'm pretty sure it'll be done. Seat frames are done. Taylor has got the seat frame. She's going to do some leather weaving on the seat frames. And I'm real excited to get this thing in the water and give it a shot. And as soon as it's out the door, I'm going to start working on a very new canoe. I have the mold and I want to keep moving on it. I really enjoyed this process. It's a very nice, relaxing getaway from everything else. So people ask me what my hobbies are, and I think they're going to be doing printing press stuff and building canoes. The canoe itself is built for Filson. Filson store. Filson, I'm wearing a Filson jacket. I have on a Filson hat. I have on a Filson t-shirt. Filson is going to get this canoe. It's going to be in their store. November 16th, 17th, and 18th, I will be doing in-store demos. And one of those in-store demos is going to be me working on this paddle, and I'm preparing the blank. And this paddle is going to have a feather pattern. It's going to have these slanted pieces of wood kind of facing out from a spine in the direction to look like a feather. It's open to the public 17th and 18th in New York City's Union Square. You can come and see the canoe, and the canoe will be there indefinitely at the Filson store in New York. Thank you to Benjamin Moore. They provided the paint that David's crew put on this building. They painted this in between raindrops, quite literally. It rained just about every other day while they were working on this thing. These guys were incredible. They're up and down the scaffolding. I wouldn't even get on it if I had a harness on it. It's so high up in the air and it's so scary. And these guys are all over the damn thing, up and down and up and down. And these guys are amazing. So David and his crew and Benjamin Moore, thank you guys very, very much. Now my building is black and I love it.
Red, the black, and the green, with the king sitting on the right hand, sister.
Maker Faire came and went, and I got to spend some time with a lot of good friends and made some new friends. I did a couple of talks, one with a group of friends. We talked about advertising on YouTube, and then I did one alone with Gareth. Gareth is the best. He's one of the biggest supporters in the YouTube community, and he is watching everybody, and he sees what everybody's doing. So, Gareth, thank you. Enjoy this montage from Maker Faire. Self-destruction. I shoot you, I rob you, all that stuff. That's not right. That's stress, man. That's it. You gotta get your language jumping stuff. You gotta say all that. Who you up there? I'm not saying that. Just before Maker Faire, Laura came and hung out upstate for a little while, and I taught her how to do some printing press. It really wasn't much to teach. Laura's a natural at pretty much anything she gets her hands on. And me, her, and Brett devised up this postcard that we made. And it was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys and collaborating on a simple, quick design like this. And we gave a lot of them out. And if you came and met us at New York Maker Faire, you got one of these postcards that me and Laura and Brett did. Thanks, guys. A new friend I made at Maker Faire New York is Paul Pinto. Paul brought me a hammer. Check out Paul's channel. He is a very talented, very young blacksmith. I jokingly called him America's own Alex Steele. Very talented kid. He makes all of his own tools, and he makes all of his own tools that make the tools. And he gave me a hammer, and I put that hammer in my celebrity hammer lineup. So, Paul, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more from you. Go check out Paul. Subscribe to his channel right now. Want to shout out to a friend, Sebastian Alaris. Sebastian and I met when we were over at Maker Central, and Sebastian just hit 100,000 subscribers. And Sebastian's got a great story. If you go and listen to his video, he'll tell it to you. Every time I listen, I get a little tear jerk because he's such a sweet guy and he made so much with very, very little at his disposal. Just got started out of nowhere, and he had some life-threatening situations, and he got out of that hole into a whole new way of life.
I started watching YouTube videos. I came across a guy who just made stuff, made videos without speaking. That was DiResta. Who is DiResta?
Go give him a congratulatory comment and tell him I sent you. He's a sweet guy and he deserves all the adulation and accolades that he's getting. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you, my friend. The newest poster is out. It should be up in the store. Hopefully, if it's not up today, it'll be up tomorrow. This is a new poster. It says, "I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it." That is not my quote, but this is my poster. I say it all the time. I don't know whose quote it is originally. I know there's variations of it attributed to certain people, but that exact quote, I don't know who said that. But it is something that I've always lived by. And it is a funny quote. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. There's another version of that same quote. But check it out. It's a new poster up at the store.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't come in the rap industry like that.
Big love and respect to Arc Magazine. Arc Magazine is Lincoln Electric's publication where they talk about news related to welding and fabrication, and they put me on the cover. Guys there, thank you so much. And the article is written by none other than my friend Nick Offerman, and he says a lot of really nice things about me. It makes me blush every time I think about it. So go read that. I'll put the link in the description below. And also, Lincoln is having a sale on its MP210. All the information will be down below. So over the years, a lot of guys ask me how much should they pay for a good welder. $9.99 after rebate. Go check it out. It goes until sometime in November. Christmas is coming, so if you want to get your husband or boyfriend or wife or girlfriend a welder, now's the time to save some money. I went to the Antique Machine Show in Connecticut this last couple of weeks. I got invited by a new friend, Adam. Adam, thank you for inviting me. It was great. I met Tom, the Infinite Craftsman. We had a lot of fun together, hanging out and checking out these old machines. This is a montage of the old cool steam engines and the hit and miss engines at the Connecticut Antique Machine Show. It's a little long. I apologize for that. I was thinking about making the entire video just details of these machines, but I think people would get bored. I wouldn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't come in the rap industry like that. What they say? Gas rate, that one, shut them down. Now, headed for self-destruction. I'll shoot you. I'll rob you and all that stuff. That's not rap, that's stress, man. No. That's why you're hard to play, y'all not. Let me tell you the same thing on the radio. Ask my respect.
And last but not least is the blacksmithing class. We had such a wonderful time. The very first blacksmithing class taught by Rory May, also known as the Dirty Smith on YouTube. Check out Rory May's channel if you haven't already. Rory is an excellent teacher and a blacksmith from the age of 10 years old. This is all he's been doing is ornamental blacksmith work. He could make a hammer, he could make a knife, but he could also make a stair railing. He could also make a door, he could make a window, he could make a chandelier, he could make anything, and he knows how it gets made, and he knows every trick in the book about joinery, about spreading and compressing and puncturing and doing everything there is to metal. When I said to him, I go, you don't even know what you know. He knows so much. And he was an amazing teacher, and everybody there seems to have had a wonderful time. We were a little nervous going into it. It's the biggest class we held here at the house. Went really well, I think. A lot of hugs and love at the end of this whole experience, and we're going to do it again in a couple of weeks. That class is sold out. I'll tell you how it went. And we probably won't put up another class until the springtime comes. And I think knife making is going to be the next class with Steve Pellegrino. We'll announce that sometime in February. But guys, thank you very much. That was a wonderful time. A huge thank you to everybody that helped out. Brett, Jesse, Steve, Al, Red Smith, Ray from Chip, Tarnished, and Torn, who cooked a lot of the great desserts. Or Elm City Dave for bringing his equipment. And Taylor, of course, who produced the entire event. And, of course, Rory for coming out and sacrificing his work in Colorado to come here and do some fun stuff in New York. One of the most important parts of what we do is review our work at the end of the weekend. We lay it all out, whether it's wooden spoons or blacksmith steel. We lay it out, we take a close look at it, we compare notes, we compare our experiences. Here you see my own personal experiments from the weekend. My very first leaf that I ever made, which was really fun for me. I made it stand up just so we can present it. And the twists and the punching, things I've never done before. The punching, that is. I've done a lot of twists. But just punching and drifting is altogether new for me. And it's the first time I did it was this weekend. And a lot of fun. I've definitely spent a lot more time out there now that it's there and it's not going anywhere.
Ladies and 90s, you can't come in the rap industry like that. What they say? Gas rate, that one, shut them down. Now, headed for self-destruction. I'll shoot you, I'll rob you, and all that stuff. That's not rap, that's threats, man. I'm not saying that. None of that shit. No. That's why you're Hall of Fame, y'all not.
Thank you for joining me. A couple of small announcements. I'm going to be at Maker Central in May of 2019. Go to the Maker Central website for all the details. Buy tickets now before it gets too late. It's going to be over in Birmingham, England, just like it was last year. It was a really good get-together last year. Hopefully we can do the same. Maker Central, Birmingham, England, 2019. This weekend I'm going to be in Chicago at the Vectric User Group meeting. That is Vectric's the software utilized in most CNC projects. I will be there doing a little talk about my transition into CNC and just my overall creative outlook on the maker community. I'll be there Friday night, that's tomorrow night, and I will be there Saturday night. Check my socials to see where I will be in Chicago, where the meetups are going to be, if there's going to be meetups. I don't know. If you're in Chicago, come find me. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.